Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda, and we are coming up on what is one of my most favorite months of the year. I know. Am I like way off to one side here? Let's move this. Sorry. I know I said October is one of my favorite reading months of the year, and it is, but also November, because November is still fall. And it's Nonfiction November. Now, Nonfiction November has been like an actual event for like the last 10 years, hosted by Olive at a Book Olive, and we all love Olive. But Olive has she has different priorities now, and that's fine. She still, posts now and then and reads nonfiction. That's great. But so there's no actual host of it. But one thing I loved about Olive's events is she would do this thing where she would choose 4 words as prompts, and you could interpret them any way you want to, and just find nonfiction books work for that. And I thought, you know what, I could do that myself. So I went to Google and I typed in random word generator. The first one I did, and I set it to just nouns, and I wanted 4. And I kid you not, the 4 words I got were domination, pornography, gutter, and juicy. Yes. I didn't use that one. Like, nope. Nope. And I thought, okay. And I tried another one, and it was like sort of like, yeah. So what I decided to do after those 2 times was to do 4 generations and choose 1 word from each one. Because this is for myself, I make it a little bit easy. Okay? And I'm going to say now that you can borrow this. You can you shouldn't borrow it. You can do it if you want. You can go do your own word generator. Just beware of some of the words it generates and do whatever you need to do. Or if you want, you can use my words. Fine. You do you. But I want to tell you what my words are for Nonfiction November and the books that I chose. I own all of these books already, so getting them off my shelf. The first word that I chose, the word I chose from the first draw was antiquity. And for that, I'm going to go with Pandora's Jar by Natalie Haynes. So I read, this is the women in Greek myths. So she goes into the Greek myths and talks about the different mortal women in it. She did another one. I can't remember the name of it now. It's already out of my head. One that was the goddesses. And I've read that one. But this is the women. And I do like my Natalie Haynes, so we're going to do that. The next word is journey. And I actually had a lot of books that would have worked for this one. But one that I meant to read last year and didn't get a chance to. Plus, I believe it works for Historathon. Yeah, it works for Historathon Q4. So I can get a Historathon book in. Is this one, All That She Carried, The Journey. The Journey of Ashley Sack, A Black Family Keepsake by Tia Miles. This has won the National Book Award several years ago. It was shortlisted, I think, for the inaugural Women's Prize for Nonfiction because it was published later in the UK. I've been wanting to read it. It's been on my shelf. Now is a great time because journey. This was a hard one. The third draw was really hard, but the word that I chose was gimmick. So I had to really think about this one. And gimmick. For that's like something that someone uses. That's like their thing, their gimmick. And as you know, I'm a big Agatha Christie fan. And her gimmick is murder. So this is another book that's been sitting on my shelf for a while. The Science of Murder. The Forensics of Agatha Christie by Carla Valentine, because her gimmick was murder. And, she knew what she was talking about, especially when it came to poisoning, because she used to work in a pharmacy, so she knew about poisons, but she understood how people died and how murders would work. That was her gimmick. So that's that one. And then finally, the fourth one I chose was nourishment. Now, this one's easy but hard. I do like food memoirs, and but I also like, they make me hungry, and but whatever. But I thought, what do I own? So I went to my shelves and I could not find a single thing. And then I went to my e-readers, and on one of them, I can't even remember if it's on my Kindle or Kobo now, I have a book called Give a Girl a Knife by Amy Thielen. So Amy Thielen wrote one of my favorite cookbooks. It's called the Midwestern Cookbook. I mean, it has a recipe for chicken and rice. It also has a recipe for bear. So, you know, whatever. And she briefly had a show on the Food Network that I really liked. I am not a Midwestern girl, but my mother was Midwestern, so I kind of grew up on Midwestern food. It's comfort food for me. And so I thought, you know, I've had this for a long time and I've wanted to read this. And so I am going to read Give a Girl a Knife, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one on, the library had the audio version available. Because there are other books that I have to read. I will be doing a TBR hopefully soon. I need to straighten out some buddy reads. I think I have 2 buddy reads going on this month, possibly 3. I need to straighten those out. And then, so I'm going to have a lot going on this month. And so I thought I'm going to give myself the freedom to either do this on whatever e-reader I have it on or listen to it. These other 3 I am most likely going to read right here. Although I do like, I might do this one in audio because I like Natalie Haynes narrating things, but we'll see. We will see. So those are my nonfiction picks to fit my prompts, my self-generated prompts for Nonfiction November. Again, just be glad I didn't choose domination, pornography, gutter, and juicy. Okay. This would have been a very different kind of video. I wouldn't have been able to monetize it. I also wouldn't have any books for it because, you know, whatever. Anyway, what are you planning on reading for Nonfiction November? If you want to do something like this, please let me know because I'd love to see what your words are. Or if you choose to use my words, what you chose for those words. Yeah. So I'm not going to play the emoji game. I want you instead to tell me a nonfiction book that you're planning on reading in November in the comments. Okay. Or if you don't, let's say this, if you haven't decided on a nonfiction, we are going to sort of do the emoji thing. If you haven't decided on a nonfiction one, give me something that has to do with murder or bags doesn't work. We won't worry about that one. Murder or ancient Greek or food. You choose. Well, there you go. Okay. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.